because sometimes people don't even know that they need to look for mentors as well. They just think, yeah, okay, I'm baptized. Okay, I know God. I can speak to God for myself. I didn't know that I need to now go and look for someone to help me in that journey. So being able to like offer that as well, I guess helps the two-way street. It shouldn't always be one-sided.
Yeah, because I do definitely think from a church perspective, we wouldn't do it in a natural where someone is born as a baby, go figure out how to do the world yourself. You'll go and you will actually look after them. At the same time, there's a lot of the reason for the pushback why some are less reluctant to do so because of experience where they are looking after people and saying, listen, I've heard from God, you can hear from God, do you and let me do me. So I definitely understand why that is, but I definitely think there's definitely the impetus from the mentee to go out and find out what they want.
And but sometimes it's as well like I can't maybe you want this specific person to be your mentor because of what you've seen on social media or because of you love what they say, but that's not the right person for you. And it's just like how do I find the person that I'm gonna be well connected with?
No, that's a good question. I mean, I do think there's an element of people that, what's the word? They don't value the stuff that they have or they value the stuff that's around them. Because like I mentioned, for example, what's the point of you looking on social media when your sister's just there? You live in that. This is someone that is a leader that does it for other people. There's no reason for her not to be able to do it for you. And I think generally people, and I agree, there is familiarity happening with Jesus Christ. If it can happen to Jesus, it can happen to anyone. Jesus couldn't do miracles in his hometown because they're like, this small boy, we saw you grow up, who are you? So I definitely get it. But once people break, like I've always said, familiarity is one of the biggest killers in the kingdom. It's one like, it still confuses me why Absalom thought he would be able to conquer his dad, despite the fact that dad is the one that conquered Goliath. Like, what made you think you can take him off the throne just like that? It was familiarity. So familiarity is a massive killer, but once people are aware of that familiarity and they remove that familiarity out of the way, you can understand and take people for what they are. I saw this random quote the other day of Victoria Beckham talking about something that the youngest daughter Harper said to her dad. She asked her dad, like, Dad, when you're dropping me to school, can you like drop me around the corner?
Oh, wow.
if you're embarrassed that David Beckham is your dad,
oh, that's really familiar. That's true.
Do you know what I mean? People would love for David Beckham to be their dad.
That's true.
You know, your Rolls Royce, drop me to the front. You can drop me at the front gate. In fact, just park on the zigzag lines. Let everyone know that David Beckham is my dad. Yeah. But to her, that's like, it's that.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough, that's true.
So familiarity is a funny thing, but so obviously we're living in a very fast-paced society. Everything's online and things are going on all the time. And there's this culture that's been created called the cancel culture where one makes a mistake, one does something rightfully or wrongfully, they've done it and people do not like it and they're ready to be cancelled. What's your thoughts on the cancel culture?
The cancel culture thing is very crazy, and I don't know 100% how I feel about it because of forgiveness, right? Everybody deserves forgiveness for whatever they've done, and it's easier said than done. But that's still the ultimate end, right? You're supposed to forgive them. But also, when you don't have proximity to what's happened, how do you blur or cross the lines? So, for example, on Twitter, there was a time where people were outing their abusers, basically. And one of them was a brand who was thriving at that point. And it's just like, okay, so now do I not buy from him because one person said this, who could potentially not be true as well. So there's that, and it's just like, so now do I not buy from him and just cancel him because of that, but knowing that next week this might not even be a thing anymore, and he might still be getting orders again, and like it just might be forgotten. And the same thing as well when like people were bringing back up old tweets of like.
Kevin Hart at the Oscars, for example.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, so basically, Kevin Hart was meant to host the Oscars a couple of years ago. I think it was in Australia, if I'm correct. No, it might be. No, it doesn't matter. But then they brought up tweets from 10 years ago of his old jokes that was against the LGBT community. And it caused a lot of controversy, saying, cancelling me shouldn't be the one hosting the Oscars, blah, 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 blah. He should apologize, this and that and this. And he was making a point of, like 10 years ago, this was the norm. Society has changed
It's
since
true.
then.
And context really matters because, for example, Lena Rose said things about some black girls. She's a black herself, but at that time, everybody was saying something about a dark-skinned girl or a black girl or just anything. So like that was the norm then. It's just like, so now do we cancel her? Do we not watch her videos? Do we not support her?
She's probably a different person back then.
Exactly, and they're like that. She's changed, and she's evidently changed because she stands for like women and like black empowerment now.
I think what I don't like personally is judging today's standards by how things were back in the days. Once upon a time, it was legal to drive without your seatbelt. Do we now start going back 50 years and start respective punishments for people who, like, times have changed, things have changed. Whether they're right or wrong, it to me is irrelevant. It's just, you can't judge today's standard, the things from back in the day by today's standards.